Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of See Yourself Grow with Tina. I am Tina Kalura, and for those of you who don't know me, I am a wife, I am a mom, and I am a boss at everything that I do. I am the founder and CEO of the See Yourself Grow coaching and consulting firm, and I help people get out of their own way and into results in less than 90 days. But today, I want to talk to you guys about the struggles that we go through when we are caring for people who are not well. Now, whether you have experienced, someone who suffers from dementia or Alzheimer's, or someone who has been helping someone who's struggling with dementia or Alzheimer's, it can be a really bumpy road. And for the caretakers, we're so busy taking care of everyone else that we tend to forget about ourselves. So that's why I'm super excited to have a special guest on today. Beth Ann from South Wales is going to be talking to us a little bit about the three golden nuggets to help support family in caring for their loved ones and for yourself, right? She is an ambassador for the Business Trusted Association for Mental Health and Wellness. She is a speaker, she is a coach, and she has gone through her own trials and tribulations when it comes to helping folks with who struggle with dementia and Alzheimer's. And her journey began with her mom. And after her mom passed, she joined the mental health charity and did work with them, building talks and films to help with the health board for Alzheimer's. And when COVID started, she joined the leadership program in Chicago, got the Welsh government grant, and opened up her own business. She also writes articles for awareness for mental health and the importance of it. She does one-on-one coaching, group coaching on mental health awareness, and she does talks for dementia and mental health issues. So she's kind of a really big deal, and I'm super excited to have her on today. So please join me in welcoming Beth Ann Thompson. Hi, Beth Ann.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Tina, for asking me to come today. I really appreciate this opportunity to tell your listeners all about how it is caring for somebody with dementia.
Yeah, so Beth Ann, this is a new topic for me. I myself haven't experienced it, but tell us a little bit about your journey and how you came out as a survivor during this time.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, my mum was having falls and she was having slight memory loss. And a lot of people think that memory loss is aging, just a case of aging, but it wasn't. Her last fall was a major fall. She'd had a few, but nothing. And she'd had cancer. She'd already gone through cancer, and I was teaching at the time. So I was part time caring. And then things escalated. And then thankfully, I'd done journaling, so important. One of our golden nuggets, which we will talk about towards the end. But that was really important because she fell where I am. We obviously took her to the hospital and she was confused, and I was arrested because they thought I'd hurt her. I was cleared, thankfully, 24 hours later, but it's very daunting, and it's happened to many. And then obviously because of safeguard, which people don't know about, my mum was in hospital for 17 and a half weeks, and I battled for her to come out and home. And when she came home, I went into crisis, and 40 days and 40 nights without sleep. No support then. Obviously, there's more now, but there wasn't at the time. So I went and did specialist training, and then I finally had some support. But sadly, the cancer, she had cancer again, and it escalated. And I'd also had a week before her fall, a family member who couldn't cope with the cognitive behaviour and the combination of cancer, and I had a head injury, which I lost my speech. So I had
Oh,
to
wow.
learn to to cope with my grief, my own mental health state, and transitioning.
Wow, that's what I mean. Like, Beth Ann, you're a remarkable woman. You've, in just talking to you, the few times that we have met, I've come to realize how strong you are and how you've overcome so much adversity. And I just think it's wonderful that you're helping others now do the same. So tell us, about how you help your clients, and who are your ideal clients? Who are the perfect people that you love to work with?
Who I love to work with now is I wanted, when my mum passed, and I thought I had a wealth of experience. And yes, listeners, I had a life before. I'd been public speaking long ago. I did a talk, when I was a union rep in front of 1,000 people. And I took that for granted, and lots of other personal stuff. I'm a Queen's Guide. I'd done Duke of Edinburgh, I'd done the walks. So I'd always been involved with people, and I'd always gone that step further. I went to college, I'd written articles and that which had been published. And then I thought, what can I do? And that's when I obviously got the grant and decided, and I actually joined the Cardiff and Vale mental health charity, which I still work for. And that's been split now into two, which we talked about. And obviously I wanted to help others realize that caring at home can be challenging, but if you've got the right tools and resources, you can look after your relatives at home. Because I'm not adverse to people like putting them in residential care, but you can look after them. And if you've got the right tools out there, which we've got a lot more now, we can
Mm-hmm.
help them by teaching people how to cope with their behaviours. Because it may be that they are in residential care, but if you have the right tools, like listening, learning how to give them the soft toys, learning to give them massages. Carers, used to come and give my mum massages, and I would do the same if they were agitated. It's,
Nice.
with just a little bit of, even, any cream that you've got in the house, whatever you've got, you can use. And you just use the resources in the house. It doesn't have to be big. I was thinking earlier, we are in a nice sunny day. You can take them outside and you can read to them. You can put music on, and so much more now. In fact, far more than,
Mm-hmm.
when I was caring. And
Yeah.
there's things like dressing them. It's like having trainers. You've got trainers that got zips now. How many
Mm-hmm.
cups of coffees out there, or a cup of tea, or that 5 minutes for self-care could you have if you had that extra 10 minutes, 5 minutes in a day for that self-care that we need?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So it's important to acknowledge that we have the tools to take care of ourselves and our loved ones. But I mean, there's always different situations. Everyone's situation, needs to be taken into consideration. But the important thing is, I want to talk about those three golden nuggets that you promised to talk about when we're talking about helping to support our family members in caring for our loved ones.
definitely planning,
Mm,
hugely important. I think for the medication, to make sure that you've got the correct medication there for day and night as the disease progresses. Learn the communication, and it may be that they do struggle with their language and as the disease progresses, but I made signs, and
mm,
they'll be on the PDF that we'll be putting after this recording, where I've got signs which said I was going upstairs or going to the shops and that, so that I could leave it with the carers. So when they were sitting with my mum, or somebody is sitting there, they can understand. And even if they can't talk, you can still talk to them as if they can hear you, because they can. And they want to be part of your life. and that.
Yeah.
So they may be losing themselves, but if you read into them, and the other thing, of course, as everyone knows, is the soft toys is a must for anyone, even in the early stages. Obviously, I gave mine at a late stage, but it really changes that behaviour, and the distraction is so important. And lastly, one extra golden nugget is your music. Play
Oh,
it all day long, all
really?
day. Every day and night I played music. We did exercise in the morning and routines. The routines are also important. Those daily routines from the morning to your imagine if you're in work, we have a tea break in work,
Hmm.
or we used to, and even if you're working from home, you make sure you get that self-care time. But at 11 o'clock, sit them down, have a biscuit and a cup of tea. In the afternoon, have that mid-afternoon break, and that breaks up the day as well for you, so you can actually have that rest time. So you're actually getting your self-care in that time, so you can both sit down and you're both having that 5-10 minutes and that to relax and that and reflect, and meet the challenges which can be stressful in that
Hmm.
day, because every day is
Excellent.
different.
Okay, so just to recap, the three golden nuggets to helping family members with dementia are planning, communicating, and music. That sounds fabulous. I mean, I think those three things right there can help with any type of situation, not just with people with dementia or people who are struggling. I think we all need to be excellent planners. We need to be organized. I'm a productivity coach, so I appreciate that. And communication is key in any relationship. And Beth Ann, you know this, right? There's all kinds of different methods of communication, right? So I love the fact that you're saying, even if they're not able to verbalize, talk to them as though they can hear you, right? And I know it's frustrating with people who have dementia or Alzheimer's because they tend to forget a lot. So people are having to repeat themselves a lot. So having those signs when I'm, let's say, for example, I'm frustrated, I'll just put up a sign and say, I'm going to the store, or, Beth Ann has gone upstairs. Like, at least you're not having to constantly verbalize, but you're finding different ways to communicate. And music, I love that. I love putting on music and dancing with my girls. So music is so good for your heart, your soul, physically. I mean, it plays on so many different benefits to our lives in so many different aspects, right? So that's wonderful. Excellent. So tell us a little bit more about how, who are the people that you are looking to work with and or help?
So the people that I'm looking for to help obviously are people who are like could be potential caregivers, who
Mhm.
are looking after elderly people, or
Mhm.
elderly parents, who are starting to have mobility issues. It may be that carers are looking after somebody with heart conditions. It's not although we are talking about my mum had vascular dementia and cancer together. There is carers out there that could be working part-time. They could be working in a job, but they are going to visit their relatives and their loved ones. And also, they will also need to do certain things, like when their relatives passed, if they are
Mhm.
living with them, then there's certain things they need to be thinking and planning to do themselves. So it's those people as well that I would be able to help. And for people who have mental health issues, um, whether it's stress, depression, and anxiety, um, I can also help those, because in the strategies and in the program which I have developed myself and used, things that it may not fit for everyone, but it will give people the purpose to what they find to the light. So what works for them to the light, because it's about going from the darkness, the darkest days, the grieving for the living and the grief and everything that comes with this terminal disease, to being in the lightness and to where I am now, and the hope and the success, and being able to help people and learning that everything that I have learned from the trauma that I have been through, and that's why I'm a warrior, because it's like the battles that you go through, and it is like going through a maze. It's like it's getting to that middle of the maze, and that's where you're going to find that you've got life and think, yes, I've got there and I've done this, and feel so much better in yourself, because it is mentally challenging. It's lonely, it's isolating, and we've all been through COVID. People have been locked in houses and that.
Yeah.
But I said, welcome to my world. Welcome to the carers world. And we understand what it's like. And I understand how lonely it can be out there for people. And I want them to know that they are not alone and they can do what I've done.
Yeah, excellent. So Beth Ann, congratulations on that. So tell us what are like 3 simple things that people can implement so that they can activate that sense of warrior inside of them?
I think number one, definitely think about getting a notebook and planning your day, whether it's planning your food for your relative, but also planning time for you. So and I thought I'd give an example, is that my mum was like when my mum was like passing, and you have no control of that, they sleep more, so use that time now to think about how you can use your skills by listening to podcasts, or like updating yourself with things, reading a book, or just having some meditation and mindset time. Now, even if you in the beginning, I used to paint my nails and wash my hair in those times, because have that pamper time for yourself, grab a bath, you know for all of us, and that just take that 5 minutes outside to sit in the gut. Obviously we've got weather, the world is moving, so take that time to sit outside, grab a glass of water, and that we all need to be hydrated, and that to just give that time. Secondly, journaling, really important. I did go for counselling for my grief, but that was my choice, and it is something that people can do. And journaling is really important, whether it's while you're caring and after. Whilst you're caring, it's important because you can make records of the falls, the medications, and reading care plans. I used to read the care plans, and then if you read the care plans, you can see the patterns of the behaviour, and then you can address them. So, and after, since my mum's passed, I've written letters to my mum. Some days, some it might go a week, it might go 2 weeks, but just because they're not here, that they're still around us, and that, so they can do that. And you need to have that time to just adjust, your dignity and find yourself, and that takes time. So find people that you want to be around. There's support groups out there that if you feel you wanted to go volunteering, or we can do an assessment and find out where you want to be. People are networking now around the world, and that there is a lot more out there now. So, but also, sadly, and this is the hardest thing, I think, is that finding how you're going to budget, because your finances are really gone out the window, whether you're here or there, and you need to think about how you're going to go to your benefit system or whether it's here. Either way, you need to have certain things in place, and I can help people out there do. I've got a checklist which we can look at to see where you are. We all do what we do because we love our loved ones, but we also need to put things in place for ourselves. And the
Yeah.
reality is that with the situation now around the world and energy and food and everything, that they need to have certain things in place. And it's not just about the power of attorney for your relative, but thinking, what do you as a carer feel you need? What do you need now? You know, your shape has changed, whether it's clothes, whether it's bedding for the winter to keep yourself warm. All those things need to be thought about.
That's
So,
interesting.
you know, that's important for us to have that dignity so that so you can come back to the world and be part of that light.
So true. That's wonderful, Beth Ann. So thank you so much for that. Is there anything that we haven't touched upon that you would like to highlight for people listening today?
I think just remember that there's humor, that there's lots of things, and you can do exercise at home, you know, just because you're at home. Use your resources and that, you know, I used to stick the CD player on at 11 o'clock and we do hand exercises, you know, dance. We talked about dancing yesterday with somebody, even if they're not mobile and that, you make the best. And if you haven't got flowers, you can't afford the flowers yourself. Buy yourself a packet of flower seeds and put them in a pot. And then you can take a cutting like I did, you know, the first year, because now I've got like loads of flowers in my pots because I didn't have the money at the time to go out and buy those things. So, and those things that can make us all smile. And if they need to reach out to somebody, there is so many mental health charities around the world, but there is also people like me with lived experience and that. And yes, I think that you can go from the light like the angels, from you if you've got your faith like I have, my journaling and my plants and that. What makes you smile? Because, and one important thing is, somebody, don't argue. Never argue with somebody who's got dementia. If they say there is a man behind you, agree and just give them a drink, reassure them.
Wow, that's powerful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Beth Ann. How can people get in touch with you if they want to work with you and or hear more about your journey and how you can help them?
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn, so that is my main platform I'm using, but I'm also on Facebook. I do have my company name is called Like Butterfly, and I do have a website which I'm just at the moment developing to go in line with my program is coming out shortly, and also my ebook, and next year my book.
Ooh, so
So
exciting.
yeah, so yeah, you know, I thought I'd just drop that, you know. So
Yeah.
yes, I am on the WW Trusted Business Association as the ambassador, and they can find me on there. But as I said, the main one is LinkedIn, and I've got Facebook at the moment, and my website will be hopefully out in about August when everything is together, because obviously I'm
Perfect.
still growing.
Okay. No, that's awesome. And okay, so I just want to say a huge thank you for your time today and for all this information. I think, speaking from your experience is is the best form of validation that people can have, to know that you have lived through so much adversity, and you give people hope. And I think that's absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much for your time, and for all your wisdom, and I look forward to seeing you and following you on your journey as well, Beth. Then, so thank
Thank
you
you.
again.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for inviting me to your show, and hope the listeners got some golden nuggets. And please do get in touch with me. I'd love to help somebody. And if one person contacts me, I'll be happy.
Absolutely. All right. So, Beth, then I'm just going to close us off. But thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks so much. And you too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for listening. Beth Ann, as I said, is a wonderful person. She has a wealth of knowledge and experience that she would love to share with you. So please get in contact with her if you are taking care of someone, or you just need some guidance on how to take care of yourself as you're being the caregiver. So for me, I do have a free masterclass coming up on June the 8th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go to my website, seeyourselfgrow.com, to register there, or you could just type in See Your Business Grow in 90 Days Masterclass here on Facebook, and register there. So I look forward to seeing you and your business grow. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.